Okay, I think we're okay. Thank you very much, Marcus, for being here. So, Marcus, you're one of the founders of Second Life Feathers, right?
Yes,
And
that's right.
I would like you to give an overview of your company. So, what it is about, what do you do on a daily basis, and yeah.
Okay. So going back, we I have to go back to the pandemic, so to the to the lockdown, because I spent a lot of time, of course, with my family, so my brother, my dad, and like our startup idea was born actually from discussing with my family about feathers because we already have a family company which works with feathers like from the 60s, and so we are it's a B2B business, and we are selling so feathers for fashion companies, mostly for bags, dresses, and shoes. And so, of course, we are feathers producers. We have been feathers producers for 50 years now. No, now 60 years. And so, of course, we know a lot about this product, and as it's a niche market, we also have like a very good know-how about the product. And so, what we thought during lockdown, talking about feathers, is that feathers nowadays they have always been known mostly for haute couture, and so usually people think about feathers as something yes very beautiful, but also very fragile because they see them very light, and they usually associate feathers just with haute couture, and so maybe something that you can wear just for special occasions. But us as feathers producers, we also know that feathers are more versatile than what people think. Because if you think about the life that they have when they are on the birds, actually they take the rain, they take all the weathers forecast, like, and all the weather conditions, and they are useful for many reasons because they keep them warm but also cold depending on the like on the weather. They are waterproof. They are useful, to fly. Thanks to their colors, sometimes they're also useful for birds to recognize themselves. So actually, feathers, if you think about their role in nature, they have a lot of roles. And we think that in fashion, uh, this versatility has not been discovered yet by the most of the people. So that was more or less our like our reasonings during lockdown, and so we said, why not try to make some product with feathers that people are going to perceive more as sporty clothes, more for casual wearing. So we thought about making some new products where we could try to communicate this versatility of feathers to the people. And of course, it was also good for us to try to target different people, not the same clients as maybe our clients are targeting. So, like if, for example, Galeotti Fiume was selling to Chanel and Gucci, they are targeting some people. If we are doing something, let's try to differentiate and do something different, no? And so from that, I started the idea of our startup because we said, let's do a new logo, let's do a new company because we are switching from the B2B field to the B2C field. And so we started from scratch, and we created Second Life Feathers, which aim is so to try to shift also the idea that people have of feathers. And so we are trying to develop these products that are reversible. So on one side you have feathers, on the other side you have like a sporty fabrics. And so, of course, we are communicating that feathers are versatile, that you can use them in different ways, in different environments. You can take our product, like out in the morning. You can go to work with maybe your like the sporty side. Then you go out of work. You don't have time to go home. You go straight directly to the aperitif or the dinner, and you just flip it on the other side, and you have feathers, and you are ready for the night. So that's more or less the aim of our startup. And another important feature that we are communicating is that the product can be easily compacted, like folded, like more or less the idea of the keyway. And so like it can easily fit a bag of a woman. So at the end, you end up having a product which can make you stand out from people if you turn it on your feathers side. That can bring you, you can take it with you to go shopping or to go to work. And at the same time, it's also easy to fold. You can take it with you in your bag, and as it's very light, like it's easy, to carry out. So yeah, that's like how our thought process began, and we are still developing it because, of course, the price of the product is not cheap because feathers are expensive, quite expensive. But of course, compared to other big brands as a startup, we can also have a lower margin because we don't have, of course, too high marketing costs. And so, yes, like our product is expensive, but it's not too much expensive. But of course, we have to build our brand. We have to create some stories because, of course, people are always buying a product which is quite expensive, and so they have also to trust the company and the brand, before purchasing it. So we still need time on that point of view in order to create some values around our brand. But yeah, we are working on it.
And so it was just you, or you were with other people in creating Second Life Feathers?
So the two owner and me and my brother. Then we have like an external advisor, mostly for the digital marketing field. Then, of course, we collaborated with stylists and modelists to create the product. So we were giving the idea, we were sharing, the goal that our product, had to achieve. Then, of course, we relied on people who are really specialized in the field to draw the product and then to model it. Because of course I come from Florence, which is a district of fashion, so we have already good contacts in the field, and that's also, it was very helpful in order for us to create the product in a quite fast way, maybe compared to other places where maybe it's more difficult to find the right expertise.
And going like on your website, I found that you're dealing with sustainability too. Um, how do you deal with sustainability, and how
Yeah.
sustainability is part of your business?
Yeah, of course, for some people at the beginning, sustainability concerning feathers can be tricky. I mean, feathers are natural, they come from animals. So for some people, maybe they could be like, yeah, but they are from animals, so it's not sustainable. Uh, Actually, I mean, that's not true because, fur, they have been banned, natural fur, they have been banned because they were taking fur from animals. They were killing animals just for the fur. The difference with feathers is that we are taking feathers from animals that are killed for the meat. So, for example, the ostrich in South Africa, the ostrich meat is eaten. It's a normal animal for them. It's like for us eating chicken or eating the cow. And so we are just taking feathers from all the ostrich farms, and actually we are reusing a material that otherwise could have been just a waste. So actually it's part of a circular economy, and of course, yes, they come from animals, but it doesn't mean that it's not sustainable, because at the same time, if you think about synthetic fur, they just switched to synthetic because they couldn't do it with animals anymore. But at the end, maybe they end up doing synthetic furs, which were even more polluting, for the environment. So it's important to keep the also the natural part of feathers because actually it's not polluting anything. So it's just tricky because people have to understand that it comes from an animal, yes, but it's fully sustainable. So someone may disagree because, of course, it's not good to kill animals. Yes, uh, but at the same time, I mean, we cannot convince everyone, and so as you can see, actually, in the fashion world at the moment, no one has ever had problem with feathers. So all the problems related to the fur are not like concerning feathers at the moment. There was just one scandal, the one of Montclair, but in that case, we're talking about feathers to put inside the coats, which are different type of feathers than the one we use. So yeah, actually, it's still different than what we are doing. So I mean, if there are some people complaining, we have our topics to discuss.
Of course. And before starting, did you do some researches about your possible customers? Like, for example, did you interview like a typical customer, or did you analyze the potential customer persona?
Yeah, yes, that was that. Yeah, one of our first job. We made some surveys that we shared with some people we knew, and I also had the opportunity to visit some people in the field, also working in fashion, and I brought my prototypes, and I tried to ask them their opinions and what they thought about it. So yes, we are still working on it because, of course, until you start selling, then it's always difficult to realize who really is, your buyer persona. So uh, as we have not started like selling a big number, or at least not yet online. We are just doing it a little bit offline thanks to our network. We haven't still identify our persona because you never know how people will perceive your product because you are trying to communicate it in one way, but then maybe it can always change. But if I had to say at the moment who could be our buyer persona, we are thinking about quite like professional woman working as a professional. We think about big cities, mostly in the north, but I would say also Rome or Naples, because actually we saw from some researches we made and some advertisement that there was also a good answer from the south of Italy, something that at the beginning we didn't think about. Anyway, we think about the biggest cities, women around 30, 35, 40 years old, that are just professionals. They are working. They have some more money to spend, and at the same time, they maybe are busy, so they maybe have to work during the day, but then they want to go also out and spend time with friends in the evening, and so they just see our product as something very useful to carry with them during the day and to be able to use it in the evening.
And you mentioned that you're using as channels the website and like word of mouth, basically.
Yes.
Uh, yeah, is it?
Yeah, because we are still developing that part. We have our e-commerce, but of course, as I said before, it's difficult with a luxury product, to start from scratch with the e-commerce. Our idea, which we are still developing, is then to have some physical events because we understand that it's very important for our product to be seen, to be touched, because you don't feel the light of feathers online, the lightness of feathers online. You don't even feel how warm they are because it's the like warm lightness ratio that feathers have that it's maybe the biggest feature, compared to a normal fur. They weigh half, but maybe they are warm even more than the fur. So it's very important for our products to be seen and touched. So the strategy will be to have some physical events, some pop-up stores, and then of course selling through our online channel. Then it's still possible to have some collaborations with some shops. We are still thinking about it. Of course, we have less margin if we go through the shop, But of course, it could be something useful at the beginning if you choose the right shop where there are already some loyal customers. Then, of course, your brand, even if it's not known, thanks to a good shop, it can already be seen and perceived as something good. So it could still be something that we will consider when we start our strategy.
Okay. And as key resources, I mean, you would say, of course, the feathers.
Yeah,
Uh,
no feathers and mostly the know-how
mhm.
linked with feathers. Uh, yeah, also I would say also my family company, which is always good um, to say and to tell people that we have a long-lasting family company which is supporting us. And I would say also from the communication point of view, it's something that I'm developing right now, but I would like also to tell the story of feathers in order to promote our product. It's something that I was learning right now also at TSEP, like the importance for a new brand is to, if you don't have any history, you have to create the stories behind the product. Otherwise you cannot sell a dream, which is what you should do with luxury products. With luxury product, you don't sell a product, you sell a dream. So in order to create this dream, I thought about creating the story of feathers. So try to communicate how they were used since the past, but maybe starting from the Egyptians, and how it has developed. And thanks to my family company, I'm actually able to create something more meaningful, because I can we have an archive with like old products that we made in the past, and so like some stories I can also link them to physical products. And if we create also, if we do some physical events or some pop-up store, I could also think about creating a corner with the story of feathers, using some old products that we did with feathers in the past. So it's very useful, not only to tell people that we have the best quality of feathers, but also to tell people the history of feathers, which is something that is very useful for our for our startup, for our brand, in order to become more meaningful.
Of course. And for the key activities, what would you add?
Okay. Yeah. I mean, it's linked to what I was saying. I think key activities is bringing the product to people, like bringing it physically. But as you know, having an own shop, yeah, it's quite expensive. That's why I say it's a key activity, because we have to find a way to bring it to people in a not too expensive way, and then to convince the client to buy it online. Because our idea is not to have a shop or a pop-up store where people are then able to buy it, there straight on. Because what we do is we made it on order. So it's important for us to be able to the clients to see the product, but then the client has to order it, and he has to get it delivered at home. So like it's a key part, as we have to be in touch with our clients, but at the same time we cannot sell our product, directly to them in that moment. So yeah, it will be very important to find the best channels to bring our product to the clients, but to bring interest around the product, because then we have to convince them to buy it online.
Of course,
And then I don't know. We can always talk about research and development. Maybe also in our key. What was the now it's key activities, but
key
before
activities.
partners.
Before it was key resources.
Yeah, key resource. Yeah, I don't know where we should put it, but also like our district. The the yeah, we are lucky because we are in the fashion district. So the good part of being the fashion district is also that it's easy to be in contact with people who are
Maybe in key
really
partners, we can put that.
innovating.
Yeah.
Yes, yes. So we are always in contact with people who are maybe able to give us some new insights. They are able to make new type of works, with feathers, and that's of course something very useful for us because we always have new insights about people working in the field, and it can really help us. Yeah.
And concerning the revenue stream and cost structures, basically the revenue stream comes from the selling of the products, right? From
Yeah,
the
sure.
the
Yes, then I don't know if I complicate too much the situation, but our startup has also is also developing a product which is going in the B2B field. So you don't find it online like with the e-commerce, but we are like working. We are taking a product from our family company, and we are working with it again. We are doing a double phase work in order to get a new type of yarn, I would say, that can be used in the knitwear.
okay.
So actually, we have also developed this product that from a revenue stream side. That's why I thought about it when you asked me. It's giving us some some good base to work on, because then we have already an innovative product, and we have already some clients in the B2B field that are interested in that. And so of course our idea is also to make some money first with this feathers yarn in the B2B part, so that then we will be more able to spend maybe in marketing activities to develop better the B2C side.
Okay, perfect. And the cost would be mainly raw materials. So feathers, as you said before, they're quite
Yes,
expensive, right?
feathers, I would say they are 50% of the cost of our product. Then in the other 50%, of course, you have the zip, you have the fabric, you have to build the the product. I don't know exactly the word in English, but yeah, we do it externally, and
So you're
so
outsourcing the
we are
production.
outsourcing the building, yes,
Okay.
of the product. So we are buying from the different suppliers all the part of our product. Feathers, of course, we're buying them from our family company, and then externally we are building. Yes, we are
Okay.
doing and finalizing the product. And of course, we have externalized also the packaging, which is also quite important for luxury products, and it has a little percentage of cost as well. And yeah, more or less that's it.
But you don't have like proper employees, right? I mean, all the stuff is
We
outsourced.
we have one employees for the B2B product that we were talking about before, because to create this product, we need a machine that it also needs to be controlled by a person. So from that point of view, we have one officially employer which is taking care of producing this product for the B2B side.
Okay. Another question, if you had to tell me three adjectives or three factors you would attribute to your startup, what would they be?
To my startup or to the product? To the startup
No,
in
I would
general.
say to the project in general, so your business, let's say,
Uh, hmm, that's a good question.
that also contributed maybe to the success of the business.
Know how, I would say for sure. Uh, Creativity related to the communication side, so that we're still developing. But I believe that our communication strategy that we're developing could be key for our startup. So I don't know how, like, creativity in communication or creative communication, I would say, because if you think about nowadays, it's really hard to stand out online. So when you do marketing advertising online, so I'm really thinking every day about how to make our online communication different from the one of the others. Because yeah, if you want to stand out, you have to be different. That's what I think. So that one as well. So the know-how is related to communication uh, and network, which is related to maybe be close to the district, the fashion district. So also maybe underlying that part. Network, both in the sense of suppliers and the sense of clients.
Okay, perfect.
But yeah, we have to consider both sides.
And if you had to give some suggestions to other people wanting to start their startup or their business, what would you say to them? That it's something that maybe you learned from your experience, and I mean, others could use for their business.
Yeah, of course. If we think about my sector, I could be maybe more helpful if I have to think so about like startup in general. So that of course is more related to uh, like to the idea itself, to how much you believe in your idea. I don't know, maybe it sounds easy, uh, but of course maybe you should never forget what I learned. Is that you have to be convinced and you have to show the people you are working with that you are convinced. Because what I realized is that even when you work with people, uh, people may consider you in a way or in another. So it's all about, also the impression that you make to the people you're working with. And it can really save you a lot of time when you are developing your idea if you are able to convey the people you're working with that you truly believe in your project, that you really want it. Because I spoke to some people and I put some deadlines with some people that I was working with that maybe then they were not respected by them. Even if you are working with people and you are also giving money to them, they sometimes just postpone their delivery for 1 week or for 2 weeks. And if you like collect all these delays together, it can really like hurt yourself, because maybe you are then you will stop believing about your idea. All the things that you were thinking, they're taking more time to build, because it takes more time than what you think at the beginning, to develop your idea. So you have to make sure that in all this time that it's taking, you don't forget, you don't stop believing in your idea. So like always believe in your idea. Always show to the others that you care, and don't be afraid to tell the others that you need the thing you ask them. Don't be afraid to make them respect the deadline that they have to that you plan together, even if you're young, because that's what also happens. Like if I have to advise a person like me, my age, you start working, then of course it doesn't mean that if you are young and you start a startup, you are always only working with people of your age. Of course, for many reasons, you're going to work with people that are 40, 50, or 60, and then maybe it's a huge difference in the age that could also make the work more difficult. So you also have to think about how you pawn yourself, how you behave in front of those people, because maybe they see you as very young, so they could also give you less importance. So yeah, it's very important also that you behave well with people who are older. You're not afraid of sharing your ideas and to make them understand that you really believe in what you're doing. And I think that if you succeed in communicate this to all the people you have to deal with when you develop your idea, things will go faster, and you have less probability to stop believing in your idea and in your product.
Okay, thanks. And I also have another question, like concerning the competitors. Do you think you have some direct competitors or indirect competitors? Um,
Yeah.
because I think it's a very niche market, no?
Yes, yes. I don't think we have direct competitors. Of course, we have indirect competitors because uh, if you think about our product, it's a jacket. So of course, if you if you think about jackets, you have a lot of competitors. Then of course, if we go to feathers jacket, we already start seeing some differences. People that brands that are selling feathers are using them in different ways, and probably the cost is also going to be much higher. So if a person really wants to buy something with feathers and they are not like concerned about the fact that our product is more communicated in a in a sporty way, I don't think we have competitors. The problem is that I think there are very few people that are going to look for what I've just said. So I think that our direct competitors, which are not direct for me but are direct for the people, are also maybe the fur, because if a person uh, doesn't know much about feathers, they just see the image online. It could be seen also, as a type of fur. uh, I would say yes. So I would say that direct competitors could be just brands that are selling, fur coats. From a positioning perspective, I would say that we could be similar to brands like the North Face, or even Patagonia and Keyway. They are starting being a little bit more into fashion. Montclair is a little bit more maybe fashion than sport, but it could also be seen, as our. I'm just talking about like the idea that we are communicating with our products. How you can like mix sports and fashion. So yeah, as some brands that could have been similar to us, like also when we were developing our idea, we thought about mostly Montclair, the North Face, Patagonia, and I would say nowadays also Keyway is going to that positioning because they have started doing also some runaways, some catwalks, and so they are really doing a shift from what they were before, just making the keyways that all we know. They are really more into fashion, and so I think they are also uh, the positioning like where we are. And also some key partners of us when I was showing my product, and I was also showing them how it could be folded. They were like, "Oh, this product could be perfect, for keyway." So yeah, I mean, indirect competitors, of course, we have them. We just have to play on the difference that we have related to our product, because we have some differences, as you said. Maybe you see our product as something very different from the others. I would say maybe yes, but we also have to communicate it in the right way, because most of the people, maybe they're just scrolling online a lot of products. They see our product as a type of fur, and they just go on. So it's important for us to communicate.
Okay, one last question because we only have 5 more minutes.
Okay.
Um, if you could like give me like in a sentence or a few sentences the value proposition your product is about, your business is about.
I think it's more about communicate and convey to people that feathers are not only haute couture, they are not only galas, special events, but feathers are also versatile and they can be part of your day in very different ways. And we want to convey also the technical side, of feathers. So how they are light and warm. Those are things also that can be easily connected with sporty clothes. We thought about one of our products also for the skiing or one of our videos. Maybe you saw it. It's in the mountains for skiing. So it's more about trying to shift the idea of people about feathers. I think in a good way. We're just telling them that feathers can also be more than what you think. So yes, this is I think the most important value proposition. Then of course we can talk about sustainability. If you use more feathers, you're also using something natural. You are using so you are just increasing the value of something which is also 100% sustainable and natural. So of course it could also be useful on that side. But I think that nowadays you don't have to put sustainability as a core of your values because everyone is talking about sustainability. It's something that it should be everywhere. So we are also communicating it, but it's not our main part of communicating because I just think it's not enough. They are not going to buy my product because feathers are sustainable. So that's why I would say it's a secondary importance.
Okay. Thank you very much for the interview.
Thank
And
you. My
I-
pleasure.
I'll stop the recording.